Hello guys and welcome to this new video. The video of today is different from others because we will see some tactics directly from the chessboard. So in this position is white to play and that's the tactic of sacrifice. Can you find the correct move for white? You can stop the video and find the right move. Okay, the correct move is capturing this knight with the rook, and then after the black rook captures back, white will play knight d6. In this case we are attacking the king and the rook at the same time. The king of course must move this king, for example, to e7, and then after knight captures on c4, that's the way, that's the correct move for white. Now we will see another tactic that's called the clearance tactic. That's a move, often with time, that frees a square, column, diagonal for a later tactical idea. And from this position is white to play and to get in a better position. What move white should play now? I will give you some seconds to think. Okay, the right move is to capture this rook on e4, and now we can see that black cannot capture with the pawn because that's a pin to the queen. So for this reason black has to capture with the queen, but now the next move for white will be rook e1, and now if black captures the rook, white will simply take it back and get in advantage. And for now, always with the same tactic, that's another puzzle, more difficult from the others. Is white to play. Now study the position and tell me what's the solution for white to win in 3 moves. Okay, the right move from now is to capture this pawn on s7 with the rook, and that's check. And now black captures with the rook, but now white will play queen to g6 with a check, and the king now has to go to h8, and then the next move will be knight captures on f7, and that's a checkmate. And now we are playing with the tactic of the interposition. Is when you move a piece between two opposing pieces and to leave one or both of the enemy pieces defenseless, such as a knight defended between two rooks. And in this position is white to play. What should play to get in a better position and make this tactic? I will give you some seconds to think. Okay, the solution is to capture this knight on c6, then the bishop captures back, and now what should play white? Well, the solution is simple, is bishop to e5. So we can see that the queen and this pawn on g7 are under attack, and of course the bishop is defended by the knight, so the queen cannot take it. And now for example the queen goes to a5 and the bishop captures the pawn on g7, and later we'll take the rook on the next move. And now we will see another tactic, and this one is the priming technique, and that's a change or sacrifice that pushes or forces an opponent's piece into a square that allows for a later tactic. In this case it's black to move, and what black should play. I will give you some seconds to think. Okay, the correct move is capturing this pawn with the rook. So from now the king must capture the rook, and then the next move will be queen a4, and that's a checkmate. And from here it's white to play. What white should play to win in 3 moves? I will give you some seconds to think. Okay, the correct move is capturing the pawn on h7 with the queen, and then after king captures on h7, the next move will be rook h3 with check, and now the only defense for white is to put the queen here to h5, but after rook captures on h5, that's checkmate, because the king cannot go to g1 because this diagonal is covered by the bishop. Now we will see another tactic that's called the Zwischenzug, or intermediate move. It's an execution before the most natural move of another move that poses a more immediate threat in which the opponent must necessarily react. And from this position is white to move, and which move white should play now. I will give you some seconds to think. Okay, from now the most natural move is to capture this bishop with the pawn, but it's not the move. That's not the best move. The correct move is capturing this knight with the queen. We check. Now the king goes to f8, and now we can take this bishop on before with the pawn. And here that's a position from this endgame with pawns and bishops. Now is white to move, and what's the best move for white? You can stop the video and find the best move now. Okay, the right move is d5, liberating this diagonal of the bishops. And now the bishop captures the white bishop, but instead of taking now this bishop immediately, we will play d6, we check. The king now goes here, for example, and then we will take back the bishop.